What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dollar Mike back at again with another video. It's going to be a super quick video for you guys today. As you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about one topic in particular. Wow, that was a lot of I guess you could say. Either way, I'm going to be talking about two different types of debt repayment options. We're going to be talking about the Avalanche method as well as the Snowball method when it comes to paying down your bills, paying down your debt, high interest debt, low interest debt, debt in general. You need to pay it off because it's debt and you don't want it in your life. Either way, we're going to be talking about that today, so let's get right into the video. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go. If you guys are new to the channel and you don't know what I actually talk about here on my channel, I basically cover everything personal finance related. So that means saving money, investing your money, budgeting, credit cards, debt repayment, anything under the sun that basically has money in it, I got you covered right here on the channel. So if you're interested in stuff like that, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to see more. Now, let's talk about the Snowball method as well as the Avalanche method when it comes to debt repayment. Which one's better for you? Which one works better in your scenario? Let's find out. I thought about mentioning this topic on my channel simply for the reason that I haven't mentioned it before, and I'm actually going through this process right now with the Snowball and the Avalanche method, respectively. Currently, if you guys don't know, student loan debt payments are actually paused right now due to the pandemic that's going on outside. It's been paused since about April, May of last year, and has been pretty much paused since, so you don't have to make any payments on your student loan, and you don't incur any interest on your student loan as well while it's actually been paused. That pause was actually set to end September 31st of this year, so basically every day after September 31st of this year, you had to start making your student loan debt payments again, basically. But about a week ago, President Biden actually decided to extend that student loan debt repayment pause up until January 31st of 2022, and that will be the final extension that we will receive. And after that point, basically February 1st, you will have to start making payments on your student loans once again. So of course, if you have to make those debt repayments, then what's actually the best way to go ahead and make those debt repayments? Is it the Snowball method or is it the Avalanche method? What exactly are these methods? Because you may not even know, and I'm going to tell you right here. So let's begin with the Snowball method. With the Snowball method, you're actually going to list all your debt payments down. You're going to list them down from the lowest balance to the highest balance. So if you have a credit card balance of $800 and you have a car to pay for, maybe you still owe about $3,000 on the car, the credit card balance would come first and then the car payment would come second. With this method, you're going to pay down your debt from the lowest balance first all the way up to the highest balance. So that means you're going to pay that credit card off first, and then once you have that credit card paid for, then you're going to go ahead and pay off that car, then you're going to go ahead and pay off whatever's above the car. You do this all the way up until you actually finish paying off your highest balance, and then guess what? You're debt free. Most people really like the Snowball method because it actually gives them motivation to keep going. When you see you're paying down a little bit of debt and then you're moving on to your next goal and you knock that out, move on to the next one, you knock that out, it's a lot easier than trying to pay down the highest balance first. Let's say you had $50,000 in student loan debt. It wouldn't even make sense to try and go and pay down $50,000 in student loan debt first when you have an $800 credit balance to pay for. It would make more sense to go ahead and try to work your way up if you want to do it that way, but there's an even better method, and that's known as the Avalanche method in my personal opinion. With the Avalanche method, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to list all your debts, but instead of actually going and listing your debts by lowest and highest balance, you're going to order them by lowest and highest interest rate. You're going to order them by the highest interest rate down to the lowest interest rate, and that's the way you're actually going to pay down that debt. You're going to pay down that highest interest rate first, and then work your way down to pay down the lowest interest rate last. So let's say you have a car loan, a student loan, and a credit card bill to go ahead and take care of. Go ahead and pay down that debt. With the credit card, your interest rate is about 24%. The car loan, your interest rate is about 12%. And the student loan, your interest rate is about 5%. That means you're going to pay off that credit card first because that is the most interest on you. With that high interest rate on your credit card, you're definitely going to want to pay that down simply because you're actually going to end up spending more money in the long term by actually holding a balance with that credit card. The higher the interest, the more interest is going to be occurred every single month, which is the more money you have to pay out of your pocket on something that's not even worth anywhere near what you bought for at this point in time. You can buy something for $20, have a 24% interest rate, and end up spending $100 for the same thing that cost you $20 simply because you're making minimum payments instead of paying it off when you should pay it off, which is every single month on time in full. Once the credit card's paid off, you'll go ahead and maximize it on the car loan. Once the car loan's paid off, you're going to go ahead and maximize it on the student loans. And once again, you're not going to not pay the other bills. You're still going to pay the other bills, but you're only going to pay the minimum payment until you knock one bill out, then you go down, then you go down again. Simple as that. That's the Avalanche method. As I mentioned before, the Avalanche method is my personal favorite because typically you're going to save more money by using the Avalanche method versus using the Snowball method, but that may be completely different for you. It depends on how much entirely you have on each balance, and overall you might end up losing money and end up saving more money using the Snowball method versus the Avalanche method. So you have to figure this out for yourself, and I have calculators that I'll have linked down below that'll show you exactly how to do that, and I also made a video talking about that as well. I've also made a video going over how I ended up paying off $12,000 worth of debt in about 8 months. That is my car loan that I used to have. Don't have one anymore. I don't have a car loan at all. I don't have a car note. Don't pay monthly for that anymore at all. Love it. It's definitely a great feeling, but I still have one type of loan left, and that's why I mentioned it in the beginning of the video, and that is my student loan. That is the only debt I really have to my name at this point. Every now and then credit card debt, but that's like, what, $100. I'll just go and pay it off basically by the end of the month, and I'll be all good to go. So really, the only debt I still have is my student loan, and I mentioned it in a couple of previous videos, but as I'm starting to pay for it now, and as things are starting to, the extension is starting to end, I'm actually putting money towards it, so I want to bring it to you guys' attention and let you guys know my game plan of how I'm actually paying it down. I mentioned that in a previous video as well, but in this video, I'm actually going over the exact process. And I mentioned both of those methods because I'm actually using both of those methods to pay down my student loan right now. After making my most recent payment on my student loan about 2 weeks ago, here's what I have left. I'm still sitting with a $29,000 balance, and that has to be paid down over time, of course. Can't all pay it down at once, but over time, it'll get paid down. If we go ahead and look at some of the loans I have, they're all obviously under one single loan, but for some reason it's separated. I guess because I went to different schools and stuff. Either way, I have one for about $4,000 with a 4% interest rate, another one for about $6,000 with a 4.2% interest rate, $3,000 for 3.7%, $8,000 for 4.4%, 5% for about $6,000, and that is it. That is all the loans I have, and that'll equal up to about the $29,000 that we're at right now. Now, since we don't have to make any payments until February of next year, I'm actually using the Snowball method to pay down my student loan currently, and then once we have to start making those payments again, I'll switch on over to the Avalanche method. So once I've saved up enough money, I'll go ahead and put my next payment down for $3,661.24 onto my student loan, and then past that, once interest starts occurring again, and we also have to start making payments again, I'll switch on over to the Avalanche method and use the Avalanche method and pay down the highest interest first, which in this case will be the 5% interest rate student loan. That simple. Overall, doing this works the best for me because it gives me that short-term fulfillment of actually achieving my goals in the short term, and then it'll also work best for me in the long term because I'll actually be saving the most money possible when it comes to the Avalanche method, when it comes to actually having to pay for the student loans again. So no interest, no payments is the Snowball method, and then once those interest and payments start kicking back in, it'll be the Avalanche method respectively. And there you go. That's both methods, and that's that. So if you like this video and want to see more content like it, then let me know in the comment section down below. Also, make sure you like the video to let me know that. And on top of that, let me know about anything else that you might want to see on the channel in the comment section down below. There's links down below as well to get yourself some free stocks, some free cryptocurrency, and some free money back in gas if you're interested. Hit that subscribe button to see more content like this and be locked in anytime I actually post a video, which is basically every single week. So you'll like that as well. On top of that, make sure you check out my free Discord link down below. We talk about everything personal finance in there, and even things that we don't talk about personal finance. It's still cool. It's a nice community. It's over 200 people in there right now, 100% free. And if you also want to support the channel even further, make sure you go ahead and check out the Patreon as well. I'll have even more tiers coming very soon, so be locked in for that. And that's pretty much it. So take care of yourselves. Stay safe. I'm out. Dollar Mike. Peace.